The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee. Ladies and gentlemen, the Church of Lazlo has begun.
Yo!
Yo!
Yo! How are you?
I'm fantastic. How about yourself?
Good. Text line wants to know how the mayor of Metcalf cannot eat at Schlotsky's. They want a recall. I almost got it yesterday. Just because you sold it so well.
Yeah, have you just not had an original?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know. But then I looked at the menu and I don't know. I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, here's what happened to that restaurant. It used to be a really small menu. You want the original? Okay, what kind of bread? You want white bread, wheat bread? What size do you want? And that was basically it. Then they're like, oh, we got all kinds of stuff. We got cinnamon rolls. We got pizzas. I don't know if they still do the pizzas. We got all these sandwiches. So when I would tell people this restaurant is so great, they go in, they get, overwhelmed by the menu. They order something, like, it's fine. So I had to start telling people, just get the original.
I don't like black olives, though.
Just get the original. How do you... I don't understand people that don't like black olives.
I don't like
so
them.
Delicious. You don't like them either, Snow Cone.
Disgusting. I hate
So
them.
weird.
Well, I don't hate them, but I would never put them on anything.
Well, then I guess tell them not to put it on the sandwich. I mean,
But then I feel like it would just, it's their house special. You don't really tell people to change their house special.
The
That's what they do.
mustard, the onion, the bread, I think you'd still like it. But, yeah, not liking...
Lazlo, I just listened to yesterday's podcast. I was so relieved to hear you like stepmom porn. I thought I was a sicko.
No, it's like
it's everywhere.
It's
If you just log on, it's a top thing everywhere.
Yeah, I think Pornhub said, wasn't it like stepmom or incest porn or something were the top things
And that stuff is
searched?
Yeah, it's passé almost now. Cliche. Just say you're into it. You gotta move further, like Slimfast, into having sex with a Tin Man. But I'm not sex shaming, but that's what he's into, right?
I'm not there yet. I'm starting to get into it. It's hard.
What's
to find.
that called? Robot Tin Man?
There's
You call it
different
Tin Man
names.
yesterday.
Different names. Robot is actually though where they hold still. I don't like that.
Oh, okay.
They act
but
like
it's
they're
Tin Man
frozen.
porn or something? Tin Woman porn?
Metallic paint, body paint.
You mentioned
fetish.
Tin Man, so I thought maybe that's what it was like.
I said that girl kind of looked like the Tin Man.
Oh, I thought I could search her under Tin Man.
No, she was called like Golden Girl or something like that.
The Golden Girls.
But that's confusing because that
Golden
sounds
Girls
like,
porn is a whole different thing.
Well, and golden in and of itself in the porn world sounds like something
I like
else.
that.
What?
Golden stuff.
Right. I feel like that's already a thing.
I think that's been a thing forever, right?
Yeah. Golden stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, Biggie Smalls was rapping. I mean, that's been around forever. That's a tale as old as time. The president apparently participated in it.
Everyone does, don't they?
They try it at some point.
Yeah.
I actually haven't.
No, well, you should.
I don't know which way I'm supposed to try it. Like, who's supposed to do it?
No, do it both. You're in a loving, committed relationship. Try both.
Now, I have seen the videos where the two girls are in, fancy business suits and nylons and stuff.
Yeah, I like that.
And then they're always Russian or something, and they start doing that to one another, and I appreciate that.
That's an art.
I appreciate that, yeah. But that's not the kind of thing, I don't know how you bring that into your home, unless you're some sort of wealthy businessman.
You just got to say it.
Hire two sex workers to
Well, you just got to say it to your partner. Just say, do this.
Right, but those videos, it's always the two girls, and I wonder if that's what is appealing about it.
Try. Text line says, don't sleep on tentacle porn, boys. Look, man, here's the thing. I'm not going to kink shame you. Whatever you're into is what you're into. It's fine. You're fine. As long as inside or outside the bedroom, nobody's getting hurt, then you're good.
Everyone's consenting?
Yep, then you're fine.
Go for it.
I got no problems.
So I'm totally out of the loop with, obviously, like Instagram influencers and that sort of thing, and people getting sponsorships. I know that it exists.
Of course.
I'm familiar with the term, but I did not know about this Nashville girl who's a blogger. Do you know this story, Snowcone?
No.
Tiffany Mitchell?
No.
Know it.
This was so funny to me. So she is, I guess, an Instagram influencer. I don't follow her. But to give you an example, here's a picture of her, one of her Instagram posts. She's got a motorcycle. She's got a Beamer, okay? Leaning against her Beamer there with her helmet.
Was that a BMW motorcycle? Is that a Beamer motorcycle?
Yep.
Or is that a different?
It's a Beamer. Yeah, technically in the auto world, a BMW motorcycle is a Beamer, and the car is actually a Bimmer.
Got it.
Little interesting fact for you. Okay,
that's so funny because I was going to say Beamer, and I thought, well, maybe I just avoided said it wrong because I said Bimmer before.
Yeah. So I don't know. Car people call the motorcycles Beamers and the cars Bimmers. But anyway, she's got a BMW motorcycle, like a retro one. Sitting on it,
looks cool.
Dressed up, looks cool. At the time that this screenshot was taken, she had 4,000 some likes. All right. So, there's your first picture. Now, later she posts another picture. And apparently she posts next to the picture, you know, she in the description, she says that she was in an accident. She hit the pavement. She said
she was in an accident.
Yeah. She said I had my helmet on, so my head was fine, but I scraped up my left side. I was in absolute shock laying on the side of the road. Scroll through the pics to see how much was captured. Okay, so here's a picture of her laying on the side of the road. Now, the motorcycle's standing up on the kickstand behind her. And
that is a handsome dude.
There's a handsome gentleman holding her head. He's removed her helmet, and he's holding her head.
He is handsome.
Consoling her or whatever. Now,
I'm lucky to fall over and have that guy find me.
Scroll down to another picture here. Here she is again.
Oh, I like that.
And
Smart Water.
Smart Water, and I can't read what that is. The computer's too far away, but there's two different brands that are clearly placed in the shot where she's laying on the pavement holding her head, and this gentleman has his hand on her back. He's looking away as if he's waiting for EMS to arrive or something, right?
Yeah.
And she talks about how they loaded her bike into a trailer to haul it back to the house, and I was in a haze the entire time. So, scroll down again. Here's a picture of this very handsome man lifting her off the ground. Ooh, she's got a lot of road rash.
Yeah, that looks like it hurts.
It looks like it hurts, or it looks like it's paint. I can't tell which.
Looks like it hurts to me.
If it's real, it definitely looks like it hurts. So, the point is, people said, I guess it must have been people who follow her. Like, look, we follow you. We know you're an Instagram influencer, but did you just sell Smart Water through a motorcycle accident? Did you stage a motorcycle accident? You're talking about how lucky you are, and then you're still putting products in the picture where you're saying, oh my God, right here, this is the moment. You know, I guess I almost lost my life or whatever. I'm so lucky. And you're supposed to get this intimate look inside of her life. But they've also very carefully placed a product for everyone to see.
That's horrible.
She's defending.
Will you give me a Coors Light?
She's defending it. She's defending critics who questioned why she turned her scary motorcycle accident into a photo shoot. I'm sad that people are taking it that way, she says. Drawing negative attention. She shared the post weeks after the motorcycle accident left her shaken. All the photos, including some of her lying on the road, tended to with this guy and a bottle of Smart Water. She described the incident as unreal and described a scene where after she was thrown off her bike, strangers tended to her and helped her. So she's saying this guy's a stranger? She's making it sound like this guy is a stranger who helped her. This guy who looks like he just walked off the set of
he's a
vampire movie. What are those vampire?
The way his pants are done and the exact boots he wears and the way the T-shirt kind of hangs off his arms.
He just walked out of a photo shoot.
He is a good-looking dude.
So she's claiming he's
she's lucky.
A stranger who came to help her?
So what's the problem?
She says, we all drove back to my house with a green light from the angels that cleaned me up in the ambulance, sat with our friends listening to music and laughing until I fell asleep. She wrote that she lost a partner to a motorcycle accident 3 years ago, so the accident especially affected her. Quote, I'm resting and healing up my arm, and this guy that she's with may need to touch up my wildflowers, but I'm feeling so much better. A lot of people sent her well wishes, flooded her comments with warm thoughts, but then the negative comments began rolling in.
There's always negative comments. Leave her alone.
This must have been super scary. I'm glad you're okay. If my friend continued to take photos while I was lying semi-unconscious on the road, I think I'd be furious. Love your photos, but it's a little weird to include those. And then these people talking about you had an accident and you're still taking photos, and someone says, super powerful with hashtag sponsored water bottles.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
You had a serious accident, but you were taking stunning photos? This is an insult to people who actually get into accidents. Put your helmet on.
Well, there's some sort of moral equivalence. You're not allowed to take pictures of you being in a motorcycle accident because it may affect the way other people who are in a motorcycle accident feel about their accident. We have to stop. We have to stop.
So this woman who...
I'm outraged. I was in an accident. You weren't in an accident. I was in an accident. Okay.
This woman on Instagram, she says, who doesn't take arty photos in the middle of a motorcycle crash? Am I right? #smartwater, #life. How are people commenting on this like it's normal? I feel like Elaine Bennis screaming at everyone for eating Snickers with forks. What is wrong with you people? Have you all gone mad? Maybe it's just a generational thing. Maybe, I'm just curious, honestly.
You care?
I don't care. I'm curious. What intrigues me is these pictures. She's saying, oh, the stranger helped me. Oh, I was hurt. Am I supposed to believe that this is a real event? And are there kids or followers who believe that she was in a motorcycle accident and this is the stranger who came to help her?
I believe her.
Is it designed to be believed, or is it designed as like a sitcom, like a staged?
I believe her.
Okay.
Do you believe her?
No, not at all. It looks completely staged, but I don't know. Who knows? Everything's fake news now. It's hard to tell what's real, what's fake.
Sounds legit to me. The guy was driving his motorcycle. He wasn't drinking water because you have to have two hands to drive a motorcycle. He sees someone fall down. He gets off his motorcycle. He grabs water to see if she's okay. That's what he has in his, I don't know what you guys call them, saddlebags. So he pulls them out and walks them over, sets them down next to her. Uses his cell phone to call emergency or something. Sounds normal to me.
That story sounds normal. The photos don't look
Somebody
all
else
that
pulls
natural.
over and takes pictures.
Yes.
Whatever.
Somebody else pulls over and takes pictures.
Yeah.
Is that a Nikon or a Canon, man? What are you shooting with? Make sure to use the Juno filter. It's my fave. I don't know. I guess I don't follow any influencers. I need to start following some influencers. I follow some celebrities, and they clearly they sell products.
Snowcone. He did that whole Kanye West thing.
Yeah.
That's true.
I follow actors, actresses. I know they're actors now, female actors who will,
What was her name again?
Pull out their lip gloss and show that stuff. Her name is, she's in Nashville. Tiffany Mitchell.
Yeah.
Tiffany. She just sounds hot.
Sounds fine to me.
Sounds like an influencer. Tiffany sounds like an influencer, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you guys, well, you, Lazlo, you live in Kansas, so good news for you because they did that rudest states in America thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you saw that New York is the rudest. But Kansas is one of the nicest, one of the friendliest.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So.
What's the rudest?
New York. That was the headline, was that New York is the rudest. I would have thought.
I mean, but what? I mean, there's.
Are we talking about
top 5? What are the rudest states?
Okay, so New York and then is 50th. They're the rudest or least friendliest.
Wait, rudest or friendliest?
They're calling it the rudest because it's the 50. It started off as the 50 friendliest states in America. So number 1 is the friendliest. 50
That's
is the
why
rudest.
I'm confused.
Yeah,
Okay,
50
go
is
on.
the rudest. So 50 is New York. 49 is Arkansas, which I thought was weird. Maybe if you're an outsider, I don't know. And then Delaware. Why Delaware? Says Delaware might be small, but you can drive across the entire state in just 90 minutes. That doesn't exactly translate as neighborly. Its reputation is boring. We're saying it's unfriendly. Unfortunately, it's ranked as one of the least friendliest states in America. Massachusetts, New Jersey, Washington State was 45th. We lived there.
Yeah, it's pretty rude.
It's like this weird faux friendly stuff that actually comes off as pretty rude. But then if you want to hear the friendliest ones...
Yeah. Which are all Midwestern states.
Minnesota's number 1. Hey, welcome to Minnesota. You want to go fishing?
Seems nice.
Except for the grumpy old men. They were in Minnesota. They throw that off a little bit. But they're dead now. Number 2, Tennessee.
Yeah, I can see that.
You could?
Yeah.
I can see Tennessee being friendly, like, if you're white.
Nah, I feel like it's not as south as you think it is, but it's still south enough where you get that friendly hometown charm.
Yeah. Let me get some of these green beans out of this jar that I made last year. 3 is South Carolina. 4 is Texas. They say people in Texas are friendly. Wyoming. I guess the guy in Wyoming who lives there is nice. Indiana is 6th. Colorado 7th. And Kansas is 8th. So you make the top 10. Not bad, Kansas.
How about you, Missouri?
Not terrible. Somewhere in the middle, as always. Where was Missouri? Missouri, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, Kentucky. Missouri's 22nd. People in Missouri will tell you their entire life story before you've ever even had the chance to say hello. They're nice and tend to actually be interested in what strangers have to say. There's no fakeness here, but somehow we ended up 22nd.
Well, what does it say about Kansas?
Kansas says... Kansas says the famous Kansas friendliness can come as a surprise for visitors from other states. I tell you what's a surprise is us having visitors. So be prepared to engage in random conversations with just about everyone you meet here. Locals' open-heartedness towards strangers makes the state such a beautiful place to visit.
That's the truth.
Good for you, Kansas. You're friendly. You're not the friendliest.
Pretty friendly, though.
You could be friendlier, but you're friendlier than Missouri.
Yeah.
And you made the top 10. So good job. And New York, take it easy.
New York people
Slow down.
I've never found them to be rude.
I feel like Philly's the ruder of the... I always thought kind of Philly was more of the aggressive, like, hey,
I feel like New York's
off.
just got 8 million people all stuck on an island.
Right.
And they're busy. They're doing stuff. So don't stop them right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all doing stuff. If you really need help, they'll help you. But for the most part, like, keep walking.
That's exactly what they said in the description.
It's not rude.
They said, like, don't dawdle on the sidewalks or hold up traffic.
Yeah.
Don't take Instagram shots getting in people's
just
way.
keep going.
Because people will get pissed.
They're busy.
They want you to flow with the feel of the city.
Yeah, there's so many people.
If
you got to do
throw
it.
that off, then they're.
But I've
annoyed.
never thought that was rude. I remember being, and I don't know where else this would happen. I remember being in Central Park, and one of those, a food cart or something. And I went up to it, and I ordered some food. I don't know, sandwiches, tuna fish sandwich or something, right? Mm-hmm. Like 2 or 3 of them. Boom. And I go to him, I got my card, and he's like, yeah, man, we don't take cards. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. So I didn't open the sandwiches or anything. I put them back on the thing. I was like, man, I'm so sorry. I never carry cash. I'm an idiot. And he goes, no, just take them. Have lunch. Enjoy.
There you go.
Where does that happen?
Hey, just take it. What's it to me? It's a couple sandwiches. They're expired anyway. They've been sitting in this cart for 3 days. Did you ever see that thing where they show the people putting the hot dogs on the hot dog stands underneath in that holder, and then like pushing the carrier back into a garage basically overnight, and then pulling it back out the next day and heating them back up? Is someone doing anything about that? Has something been done about that? Or if people aren't getting sick and dying from it, then maybe something doesn't need to be done about it, except just don't think about it? Huh?
The pre-cooked hot dogs.
Right. But they cook them, and then the ones that don't sell, they put them back underneath and then reheat them.
Probably fine.
Yeah, I mean, it must be, because I haven't heard that there's like an outbreak of hot dog diarrhea.
You got plans Friday night, Hot Shot?
I'm going to the lake this weekend. What's Friday night?
Friday night? You don't know what it is? Coors Lake Block Party, Fanagram, Bob Moses. You going to come with me?
Of course.
You going Saturday or Friday? When are you going to the lake?
Well, I guess after the show.
You're going to drive right after?
I've done that before.
Coors Lake Block Party, Fanagram, Bob Moses, KC Live Block. If you need tickets, like Some Fast apparently does, you can go to 965thebus.com.
I need tickets? What are you doing to me?
Because you don't have them right on you because you
usually give them to me.
Fine. They'll be in an envelope on your desk.
I would just like to point out that I was a fan.
I love Fanagram
fan
Bob Moses. That'll be a good show.
Early. And Lazlo was a Bob Moses fan early.
Yes.
I liked Fanagram early.
Oh,
I'm
man,
a Fanagram hipster, man. I got the tattoo. Yep. I love this band. I got a hat. I got a Fanagram hat.
Yeah.
That's right.
You were into Fanagram before being into Fanagram was cool.
That's absolutely right. And you know what?
You should own that. Not only should you own it, you should tell everyone.
I'm telling them now.
Mm-hmm.
And now that it is cool to be a Fanagram fan, I'm happy for him. I'm not even mad about it.
Really?
I'm glad.
Yes, you're glad that everybody finally came around.
I wanted them
to
be discovered.
Right.
I was trying.
Did you like that album they did with Big Boy, Big Grams?
Yes.
That was cool.
What was that song we played? That song was great.
That song was great.
What song was that?
I was getting ready to play Fall in Love, but...
Lights On?
That was a good song. Do we have it in there?
That was a good album. That was cool.
What's it called?
Lights On.
Lights.
Big Grams.
Do you know, today, something happened. It's almost 2:30. We've been on the air for 20 minutes or so.
You're going to curse it.
I just wanted to point out, you know what I'm saying? So it didn't happen. So let's listen to this Big Grams song.
All right.
Fanagram and Big Boy.
This is the Church of Lazlo on 95 The Buzz.
Flashing with paparazzi involved in an incident.
Trees infected monkeys.
This is Headlines on the Church of Lazlo.
Yo!
Yo!
Hit me with that news and information, Sugar Wiener.
News and information. Trump gun
Sugar
control.
Wiener with the news.
Trump gun
Why would you start
control.
it like that?
I'm Sugar Wiener with the news. I don't like that name at all. I think
Come
it's
on.
stupid. And Trump. I'm Sugar Wiener with the news.
Come on, like you mean it.
Like a real newsman.
Yeah, like Brokaw or something.
Dun, dun, dun.
Good afternoon. I am Sugar Wiener with the news.
That was good. There you go.
We begin with Donald Trump, current president, an embarrassment to the United States. He said a couple weeks ago, we need more gun control, better background checks. We got to get these background checks.
Yep.
We got to get them.
Yep.
Everyone supports him. And then Wayne LaPierre, that's the asshat from the NRA, he gets in his ear and says, hey, no, we don't do background checks. Here's the talking points. Guns don't kill people. People with mental illnesses do. And we already have background checks.
Right.
Stick with that. So next thing you know, we talked to Wayne LaPierre. He sits down, and the press is like, hey, Trump, so how you feeling about those background checks? And he says, I don't think we need them.
President, could you clarify your position on enhanced background checks? After El Paso and Dayton, you seem to be fully in support of enhanced measures. When you were leaving Bedminster, you seemed to suggest that we already do have strong background laws, which a lot of people read as you dialing back
Well,
on
we
what
do
you
have.
said.
I mean, I'm not doing that to be cute. We have very, very strong background checks right now. But we have sort of missing areas and areas that don't complete the whole circle. And we're looking at different things.
Nailed
and
it.
I have to tell you that it is a mental problem, and I've said it 100 times. It's not the gun that pulls the trigger, it's the person that pulls the trigger. These are sick people, and it is also that kind of a problem. And we're looking at mental institutions, which we used to have. Like, as an example, where I come from in New York, they closed up almost all of their mental institutions, or many of them, and those people just went onto the streets. And
Okay, he goes on and on and on. You know the talking points. We've been hearing them forever.
Yep.
And now I love that he says, too, I haven't changed my position. I told you guns don't kill people. The fingers of mentally ill people do. That's what kills people.
Good to hear your
So-
voices. Sorry I didn't text sooner. I was busy with Slim Fast Mom.
You guys realize that's what I was referencing earlier after our first break. You guys didn't do it. That's 2 weeks, over 2 weeks, that we finally broke that
Well,
damn
we're an
record.
hour and change into the show. It's an hour and change into the show, so,
Yes, this is a record, and I appreciate that, as a matter of fact. The missing firefighters, the search continues. They're still looking for them.
Where were they?
We talked about them yesterday. They went
We did?
They went fishing. Remember the guys that went fishing?
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize. I guess I don't remember they were firefighters.
Yeah, they're firefighters and buddies. And they went fishing in a boat that belonged to one of the firefighters' deceased dads. He left the boat to him.
That
and
thing was a real hunk of crap.
It was, and he was going to fix it up and sell it, but I guess he wanted to take it out one last time, some sort of tribute to his father. Or maybe he was just taking it out to see if the damn thing would run. I don't know, but they somehow managed to get, they think, 30 miles offshore. They go missing. A couple of things were found, like a tackle box and stuff.
Life vest.
Life vest, but no one's certain if it's their stuff. So now there are choppers, airplanes, boats, volunteers. The wife that we heard from yesterday that said, it's...
Can I ask you a real question?
Yeah.
Just because you're a newsman, you probably know. Is it so rare that boats get lost at sea?
No idea.
Because it seems like we have one of these stories once every couple of years, and that leads me to believe that this never happens. That seems odd to me. It feels like there are so many boats on the water.
That's high risk.
In the ocean.
Yeah.
Right this very second. I mean, maybe it's like plane crashes. It just never happens, and people go home. I would just think someone would run out of gas and be taken out to sea. I don't know.
I'll bet it
once
happens.
a month.
I'll bet it happens a lot, but they find the boat or the body. They find the wreckage or something. I'll bet that's the difference. When they can't find anything, that's when they start going, all right, well, what if they are alive, holding on to something in the water? We need to keep looking, right? I feel like that's the difference, and that's why there's all these people in the air.
Hundreds of volunteers started gathering early this morning to continue the ocean search for the two missing firefighters.
Today, we're pushing 80 boats now.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, with over 200 people that are out actively searching. That does not include the 10 volunteer aircraft that we have out there as well.
So they're still looking, and I heard one of the guys that was friends with one of the firefighters say, if anyone could survive this thing, it'd be him. So they're keeping hope alive that they will find these guys.
That's an interesting thing to say, but I guess it makes sense.
What?
Well, I mean, if just depending, I mean, he's a firefighter or whatever, he's obviously a tough guy and brave. But just to say, if anybody could survive this, it would be him. And I thought to myself, that doesn't make any sense. How do you know that?
And also, if that's the case,
But then
why
I
is he
thought
missing?
maybe they would say about me if I was out on a boat, because I go to South Florida a lot. I was out and they're like, if anybody is not going to survive this thing, it's probably him.
I would
and
say
that'd
that.
be a fair, right?
I would say that. If they interviewed me and they said, what do you think happened? I'd say, I never really felt all that comfortable with him going out there on that boat and that cooler alone.
He doesn't even like to fish. He just like to go out there and hang out.
He thought life vests were for girls or something. He's real sensitive about gender norms, and it's not a surprise at all. I'm sure he may have just slipped right into the water gracefully and just let it happen. I don't even know that he fought the imminent death. So no, not surprised. So we talked about those firefighters yesterday. Here's something that it sounds like we talked about yesterday, but this is different because yesterday we talked about how authorities had arrested like 3 more people who were claiming they wanted to participate in mass shootings, right?
Right.
Or shoot places up. So today we have another story, but these are different people. This is a 15-year-old boy and a 38-year-old man who've been arrested for these mass shooting threats. I saw this map of all the states where people have been arrested, and they mentioned on the news Missouri is one of them. It's like Indiana, Missouri, Washington. I don't know who the one in Missouri is unless it was the guy in the armor that was in Springfield or wherever he was. Maybe that's what they're talking about. But this kid, what it sounds like happened with this 15-year-old, he was talking trash online, right? Like on Xbox or something.
Right.
Like as a gamer, he was talking trash. So the cops come to get him, and they've got body cams on when they come to get him, and they're like, you're under arrest. Now, mom is standing there watching him get arrested, and mom is saying, look, he's just a kid. He wasn't being serious. He's a little boy. I know he's 15, but he didn't do anything. Don't arrest him. The cops are like, no, he's under arrest.
Put your hands on your back. He's under arrest.
Newly released body cam video shows a 15-year-old being handcuffed in Florida after posting on an online video game under a fake name that he vowed to bring his father's M15 assault rifle to school and kill 7 people at a minimum.
He's a little boy. He didn't do anything wrong. Yes, he's 15, but he's still a little boy, and he's not one of the crazy people out there doing stuff.
This is a whole new thing now, too, a whole new world that we live in, because now that we're a nation on edge, where we go to movie theaters and check for exits, we, go to the mall and we get suspicious if someone says something too loudly. We're all worried about mass shootings, and the response from the president and from the politicians is, sorry, we can't do anything, so just keep living on edge. Part of what's probably going to come from that is that now you've got young people whose brains aren't developed. I mean, they're dumb people. They're not adults. They're kids. They're getting online like this kid. He posts something. Now, look, maybe he was being serious. Maybe he really did want to shoot up his school. Or maybe he thought, I know what the hot button issue is right now. If you talk about having a gun, if you talk about wanting to shoot someone, that gets people's attention because I've seen it in the news. So I wouldn't be surprised if now we have a bunch of young people who start getting arrested, at least investigated for things that they say to people, maybe while they're playing a game live over a microphone, or maybe a message that they send to someone, a direct message or whatever.
Right.
This could be another aspect of this culture that we're in right now, right? I mean, what if this happened to your kid and your kid came to you and said, Dad, I was joking. But looking in your son's eyes, where he got this. He got it from the news. He knew this is a hot button issue. He can't avoid it. You've probably had conversations with him about it. He thinks, if I really want to get someone's attention, I'll say I have a gun and then I'm going to shoot up their school.
Just saying the words, just tweeting the words, do you want to shoot up something?
Right. So now
saying the words, I mean, it's.
So now they come to get your kid. I can kind of understand.
By the way, I get it.
I get both sides. I get the mom saying, no, there's no way he could have been serious. I believe that she believes that. I don't know if this kid was serious or not, but I believe that she thinks he was just being an a-hole and trying to get attention and that he's a kid. But I also understand that the cops must arrest this kid. They must.
Yes, they have to.
If he says, I've got an M15 assault rifle, I'm going to bring it to school and kill 7 people at minimum, the cops have to come arrest him. I don't care that it was on a video game. I don't care that he's 15. They have to. And I don't know. I wonder if that's something that we're going to have to.
And then they can go and check and see whether there was, anything behind it.
How do you decide whether or not this kid had any actual intent?
Had he made any steps towards that?
Right. Had he looked up guns online? Had he talked to someone? Had he messaged someone about buying guns? I guess that's what you do. But once you've said it, boy, someone needs to keep an eye on you, it would seem, for a long time. So a new study came out, and they're trying to figure out, why so many people are hooked on opioids. Opioids, obviously, like OxyContin and things like that. Painkillers that were really, 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 really popular in the 90s and 2000s, and they were handed out a lot to Americans, and you know all this. A lot of people got addicted. They are saying now that this all stems from wisdom teeth removal. When you're young, you go and you get your wisdom teeth removed. Most of the time, you're pretty young. I think I was 17. How old were you?
Yeah, I think around 17, 18.
And Lazlo, you never got yours removed. Did you get your wisdom teeth removed? Some people don't. I don't think my brother ever did.
Yeah.
But they do. When you leave, they give you a bottle, or at least they did when I did.
Yeah.
They gave you a bottle of some sort of opioid, some
Percocet
lotion,
or something.
a Vicodin or something, right?
Yeah.
And they say, take this. And generally, they do say, I remember doctors saying things to me like, if you need more, call me. I've definitely had doctors say stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this study is saying that that's basically what happened to a lot of people. And a lot of those people, that was their first introduction to opioids. And they said, I like this a lot. I need to find more. They moved to OxyContin or whatever. And then eventually they start moving to heroin.
The dentist prescribed the opioids.
Right.
Did he give any warning?
No. No warning, no nothing. In fact, he said, I think they gave her a 5-day supply, and he said, if you need more, just let me know. Just give a call.
Sage quickly became dependent, getting several refills before she found something else.
How quickly did it go from opioids to heroin?
Almost immediately.
So this study says that every year about 5 million Americans who are mostly adolescents or young adults have their wisdom teeth removed, and many of them are prescribed opioids during the pain recovery process, or for pain during the recovery process. And now, these dentists are saying maybe we should stop prescribing opioids to kids because after studying this, there's some evidence that this is linked to part of the opioid epidemic and that a lot of kids were introduced here, and then that's where they took off with it. Do you remember the first time someone gave you an opioid pain reliever for something?
Yeah, it was you.
It was probably it was you. I feel like dentists gave out Vicodin. Like if you had some sort of surgery or something, they used to give out. They were the ones that would give out Vicodin and stuff. I feel like
damn near positive it was you.
That I was the very first one that gave you one. When I was in my car,
17 years ago. I mean, I'm not. I don't.
But you never had like a Vicodin when you were in high school or something?
Maybe not.
When I had my car accident,
a benzo and those types of things for sure, but an opioid, I think you were the one who turned me on to that little clever trick.
Well, I had a doctor who prescribed it to me for my car accident, and it said on the bottle like 3 refills or something, and I'd never had it, and this was actual OxyContin, and I took it and I said, well, this is how I want to feel all the time. I didn't know this existed, so I need to figure out how to get more of this. So I took them all, and then I called the doctor, and I'd taken them way too quickly, so I called the doctor and said, this is the dumbest possible thing you could say, but I said, I spilled my prescription down the sink, and I need a refill. So they called it in, even though I'm supposed to have 2 refills of this. They called it in, I go to the pharmacy, and he'd given me ibuprofen. He knew. He wouldn't give it to me. He wouldn't give me that refill that he'd promised me. I screwed it up by asking for it too early. So then I started asking guys in the dormitory, right? Yeah. Okay, you guys ever heard of this stuff? You guys know where to get this? And then someone says, man, that's just heroin. You go, no, it's not. No, I'm talking about like a pill, like a pain pill. I'm like, yeah, that's heroin, dude. And I will sell it to you. And you go, oh, well, how did I end up here? So that's the study. A lot of kids are getting it. So if your kid goes to
Do you have any now?
Opioids? No, they've like stopped prescribing them to people. They're
yeah, but you get them.
No, you really can't. I mean, I'm sure you can, but they are not. This ain't.
He says no because I don't want anybody trying to get one from him.
No, hey, if I said I could.
I went to his apartment, had a basket full of them.
Oh man, in 2006, they were everywhere. People would give them to you for free. Here, take this. It was like cocaine in the 80s, I imagine.
Sure.
Because everyone just carried around OxyContin and similar drugs, and like, oh, here, you want this? Oh, here's time release. Break it in half, it'll hit you fast. You might puke, but you feel good after. Whatever. There was just so many people doing it. And they were drinking on it and everything else, and it was everywhere. And then, of course, the government said, hey, why is everyone hooked on hardcore drugs and heroin and opioids? Why are all these suburban moms? Once the suburban moms got hooked,
then
the government's like, whoa, what is going on?
Who's going to raise our children?
We're going to sue the pharmaceutical companies.
I need to get one of those.
You've wanted one of those things for years.
Yeah, I'm going to get one.
One of those 3-wheeled motorcycles?
Yeah, I smoke a Juul and ride one of those.
What are those things called, Snow
I don't know,
Cone?
like a Cam Axe or something?
Yes, a can, yeah, that sounds right. A can.
Oh, somebody just dropped off some whiskey for us. Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Thank you.
Is it a Can-Am? I think that's what it is. I don't know. No, I guess it's not a Can-Am. Anyways, it's a 3-wheel thing. Just get one. At this point, there's got to be some used ones out there.
Thinking about it. Somebody should give me one. Like a Can-Axe dealer or something.
Like a dealer? There is a dealer. There's a dealer in South Kansas City.
Things. I need one of those. I need a new baseball glove. If anybody's got an old adult baseball glove, I could use that. I'll give you tickets or whatever. I got stuff for you.
My mom threw my baseball gloves away.
I've lost like 2 of them. And now I'm at the point where I don't mind. You know me, man. I waste money a lot, right? I'm sorry. I'm interrupting your headlines. I apologize.
No. Please. I waste money. You waste money. I'd like to hear more.
But it's like sunglasses. I used to buy expensive sunglasses.
Yeah, I don't do that.
And then I just sat on them or broke them. So now I'm like, I can't. With the baseball gloves, I've lost like 3 baseball gloves. So I'm just like, you know what? I can't spend any more money on this.
Yeah.
I'm just not good with them. I go play catch somewhere or whatever, and then I just leave it.
So
I need a baseball glove. Someone could drop one off. That'd be great.
Lazlo needs a baseball glove. I need someone to put a wheel or change a tire onto a wheel for me. We mentioned that yesterday. And Snow Cone needs what was
shoes that don't light up for his kid. What size?
Shoes that don't light up.
He has a lot of shoes, and that's the best pair he's got.
And that's the best pair he's got. So I'm not exactly sure why this is a story today, why this is such a big headline. Something about court documents being released, and with these court documents, there's new information, and this new information is shocking. So last year, this guy, Patrick Frazee, I think is how they say his name, we talked about him. He killed his fiancée. And, she went missing. His fiancée went missing.
Okay.
And then the ex-girlfriend of this guy said, her name's Crystal Lee Kinney. She talked to the cops and talked to prosecutors, and she gave this whole story about what had happened and how he killed his fiancée.
Patrick Frazee could be mounting a defense that will blame someone else for the murder of his fiancée, Kelsey Barrett, when he stands trial, according to newly released court documents. Barrett was last seen shopping with her year-old daughter on Thanksgiving.
Crystal then tells us that Patrick kills Kelsey in a horrific manner.
Okay, so the horrific manner, I don't remember us discussing the horrific manner when the story came out. Maybe we did. But the girlfriend says that the way this guy killed his fiancée, he asked her to put a sweater over her head, okay? Because he wanted her to smell scented candles and see if she could guess what scent the candles are, I guess.
Okay, sure.
So, yeah.
Like a sniff test.
Yeah, but put this sweater over your head first. But when he puts the sweater over her head, instead of holding
she couldn't see.
Right. Instead of holding candles up to her nose, he beats her with a baseball bat and kills her, according to the girlfriend. She also said things about like seeing him burn the body and, that she was there. Also, a friend of the ex-girlfriend, this one who's giving the cops all the information, she was interviewed too. She says that before this woman was murdered, that the ex-girlfriend had been asked to poison the fiancé, that she'd been asked to kill her. So there's all kinds of accusations, but the story today is that these new court documents suggest that he is going to blame the murder on someone else when he goes to trial.
Right.
Dun, dun, dun. And a little lesson there, if someone says, hey, put this over your head and tell me what scent this candle is.
Smell?
Yeah, tell me what you smell. Don't do it.
That's a bad idea anyway.
Just
Even if you don't think
it.
you're going to get beaten to death. If somebody wants to cover your eyes and then says, take a big whiff.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Just do.
I feel like it could be anything from something horrid to, what's the stuff?
Yeah, no.
Chloroform.
Oh, chloroform, sure. Yeah. Yeah, just don't do it.
It's not going to be good. Or incense. It's not. None of it's good.
No, I mean, look, if you're at a TJ Maxx and your partner says, hey, what do you think of this? And, okay, go ahead and smell it. But if they say, if you're at TJ Maxx, he says, put this sweater over your head and then smell this.
No. Close your eyes and smell.
Close your eyes and smell.
Don't do it. No.
Don't do that.
That's like close your eyes and taste.
Right. Don't do that. So, do you remember the guy who killed a resort worker while he was on vacation? American guy, he's in the Caribbean, he kills a resort worker. He says that it was self-defense, but people on the island are very angry. He's getting a lot of death threats. I think he's in the United States right now because yesterday he was in New York giving a press conference, but he's got to go to trial for this. Now, if you are not familiar with the story, this guy is on vacation, and a resort worker, he claims a resort worker approaches him near the entrance of his hotel room. Okay. And as he approaches him, he's got a knife. And then he's being very threatening with this knife. And so this guy, the defendant, Scott Hapgood, says that he was threatened by this knife. I guess he must have gotten a hold of the knife somehow. Or somehow he fights this guy and kills him, kills the resort worker. Now, He says it was self-defense. Says this guy showed up with a knife. I guess a lot of people there say, we don't believe you. We think you just killed this guy. And he is very worried that he's going to end up in prison on this island.
We're hanging on by a thread, to be honest with you. It was a terrifying incident. My wife, my children, we wake up with it. We live in it. We swim in it. We breathe it every day.
So that would be pretty scary to... first of all, I would like to know what the people at the resort or the people of Anguilla or whatever... Is that how you say it? Anguilla?
Sure.
Anguilla? I would like to know what the people of that island say they think happened. Right? If he's getting all these death threats and stuff, somehow some of the death threats voicemails got leaked. The press got a hold of some of those, I guess, and got to hear it, and the courts got to hear it. So I would like to know what they think happened. But he's accused of killing this guy, this hotel worker, and so he could end up in prison on this island. Now, that's scary.
Yeah. Does he have to go?
He's had some scary... That's the thing, too. I'm like, man, is there a way that you can just say, I'm not going back to that island?
I feel like there is.
Can America not... But I guess, America must say, no. We work with this country. I don't even know what their status is. Right. If you're accused of something, we got to send you back. We're not going to hold you here. I don't know. I wish they would. I mean, Russia holds people, right? Go to Russia. Just go. Russia.
And I feel like we wouldn't pay to send him there, would we? So would they come get him? I guess in a case this big,
they probably do.
They
probably do pay to send him there. But imagine that. After that happens, first of all, you kill a guy. Now, let's just pretend that it was self-defense.
Do you go on like a wanted list in America, even if you're not wanted in the United States, but you're wanted in...
I don't think so.
Antigua? Is that what you said?
I don't think so. Anguilla? How do you say that? Anguilla?
I have no idea.
Well, I wouldn't think so. I feel like all those...
So then why couldn't you just move, and if you don't come up on a...
Unless you committed a crime against the United States somehow, then I feel like you're on a list, right?
But if I'm not, then what if I
so
get
he's
pulled
not
over
he's not wanted here. Yeah. So just go home. I mean, don't go home.
Of course, you do have an international warrant for you. It goes on a list. Like, if the Overland Park... If I had if they wanted me for something in, again, wherever, Aruba.
Yeah.
And I was driving in Overland Park and they pulled me over, would that come up?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe
they submit something and,
And does he ever get a moment where the press isn't following him, where he could just get in his car and drive to Wyoming and live in a cabin by a lake and,
I'll give it a shot.
Try and hide? Because I think that's what I'm doing.
If he's in New York, I don't think the New York police would try to stop him from driving to Wyoming. At least maybe if he got pulled over for doing something wrong, they'd send him back, right?
Yeah.
I'd give it a shot.
So the family says their account of this story.
I'm not going to court there. I don't know. I don't know how to get a lawyer. I'm not going.
I don't want to do that at all.
I'm not going.
At all. I don't want to go to court at all anyway, but I certainly don't want to go in another country. I don't care how nice that country is. I'm not a citizen.
I'm not going.
I don't want to go.
I don't know how it works.
Me neither. I don't know what my rights are. I have no rights. I'm not a citizen here. I don't know what you're going to do. That kid 20 years ago
I saw that whole,
caned.
that was that girl's name who went to Italy or whatever.
Knox, Amanda Knox.
Yeah, I saw that whole thing, and I was like, I don't like this whole court system.
Right.
And by the way, it could be a much more fair court than it is.
Absolutely.
But you know what? I don't know how to play the rule. I don't know what the rules are there.
Exactly.
I don't know exactly how the rules are here. I know they're stacked against me, but I'm pretty sure I can get somebody who understands the rules to help me.
So the family says that this guy was wearing a hotel uniform. He knocked on their door, and that the family's daughters, who were 11 and 13 at the time, had arrived back to the room from snorkeling, and that this guy, the accused, the defendant Hapgood, was in the room with his wife, and the man says, "I'm here to fix a broken sink." In this hotel uniform. So Hapgood said the sink, it's not broken as far as he knew, but he allowed him to take a look. Then the family statement said, Mitchell displayed a knife and demanded money. A fight broke out, and Mitchell allegedly bit Hapgood multiple times, including on his face. Hapgood's the defendant. Mitchell's uncle, Victor Mitchell, said in an April interview with CBS News that Kenny Mitchell was not a person who would give anybody problems. So I guess they're just like, no, he's not the kind of person who would do this. So, but why would this dad on vacation with his kids?
Who could just kill a guy in front of his wife?
Getting bit, and it just, I got to think that he was threatened, right? Am I giving him white privilege?
Seems like an odd place
right.
to just do that.
It seems really odd. I don't understand. We can get through this real quick because I don't know why people love this so much, but you probably saw a guy goes up into a tree. He's a contract worker or something anyway. A cat gets stuck in a tree, so a guy goes up into the tree to get the cat, and then the guy gets stuck in the tree with the cat. So the fire department has to come get the guy out of the tree. Very funny.
It's not the response you'd expect for a cat caught in a tree. Your first thought is, you got to be kidding me.
But this time, the Good Samaritan who was trying to rescue the cat got stuck too.
We're going to get you on the ladder to take you down, okay?
Okay, so the guy got stuck in the tree. People love it. That's a good social media story, but I don't really care about it. The local news, this actually made national news. Kansas City's been making national news quite a bit lately, at least on like the the Reddit threads and FARC and stuff like that. We get quite a few headlines. I feel like this year's there's been a lot of KC stories.
It's FARC Central for Kansas City, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, and Reddit, Not the Onion, and there's been some Kansas City stuff. This one, did you guys see this about the guy carrying the doll? How did I not hear about this until this morning?
No.
KC police detail strange encounter with man carrying topless woman. There's video of it. So the Kansas City police responded to a number of strange calls, but a flurry of 911 calls Tuesday morning left police saying, not what we expected going into that. That's their quote. According to police, they began receiving a number of emergency calls about a man carrying around a topless, unconscious woman near the 12th Street Bridge at 11:30 a.m. So this is yesterday. One caller stated that the man looked like he wanted to throw the woman over the bridge, dropped her on the sidewalk, and then drug her head over a curb. So they're like, well, is he going to throw her over the bridge? Why is he dragging her around like that? Is she dead? Caller said that the man appeared to be trying to dress the topless woman. Another caller said the man was yelling the word savior. Savior. I don't know. Naturally, Kansas City police sent multiple officers to check on the woman's safety, but the only problem was that the woman wasn't real. According to police, the man said that he had found this life-size female doll in a dumpster behind a restaurant at 16th and Broadway and carried it into the woods. He was told not to carry it around in public anymore, according to police. Part of the incident was captured on camera. I watched video of this guy dragging it around, and it does look like he's carrying a corpse around. But to me, that's not really the story. The story is he found a full-sized real doll in a dumpster, if he's telling the truth, in a dumpster behind a restaurant at 16th and Broadway. I would pay good money to know this doll's story, the history of this doll, and how
it doesn't surprise me that he was screaming savior.
Right, he's excited.
Yeah.
I just found that? Those things are like $6,000, aren't they?
You're looking for like a biscuit to eat or something? You get something to...
Whoa!
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to.
I hope you got that, Snow Cone.
Well, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm so excited. It's hard to even...
Well, I've never even seen a full-size one in person. I mean, I've seen the HBO specials about them. I've obviously built some online and put them in my wish list, but I've never seen one. They're very expensive.
Yeah.
And I've dumpster dived before.
Yeah?
Yeah, my friend was like an avid dumpster diver when he was a kid. He was looking for bicycle parts. He would build bikes out of stuff that he found in the dumpster. So I go with him. It's garbage, okay? It wasn't all that exciting to me. He got excited about certain stuff, but I'm telling you right now,
behind like buildings like J.C. Penney or something.
He would go behind buildings where he knew there was a chance he would find stuff he was looking for, like bike shops or repair shops, stuff like that, looking for parts. I don't know. And then they outlawed it, and he got super upset about that.
Not allowed to do it anymore?
They outlawed it at least some, like in the 90s or something, and he got super pissed. I think he continued to do it, but
I think my dad, my uncle used to do it.
Why? I don't understand dumpster diving unless you're like homeless. What are you looking for in there?
I don't know that they dive. Man, I'm talking like, the 80s, obviously. I was a kid, little. I can just picture my dad and my uncle behind like a, I don't know, a Dillard's or something and getting like shoes or something.
Like they just throw out excess inventory?
I think they were just, you know what? This is what I think. I think they had some male kids to watch on the weekend while their wives went out, and they're like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do, Bill? I don't know. We got to drive them around. Why don't we drive around? Then one of them says to the other one, I wonder if they throw out like clothes and stuff in the back of this thing. We ought to check it out. And then they did it. They might have been one afternoon, but I feel like that's how it went down.
They probably did or do. I worked retail for a while at the fabric store, and my job was to unload.
I remember them bringing like, oh my God.
Look at what we found.
And they would bring back like boxes of new shoes and putting them in the car.
We would bring the truck up to the loading area, right? And you'd pull these boxes out, and everything was from China. It's all made in China. It's wrapped in Chinese newspapers and stuff. And you pull this stuff out. Sometimes this stuff was broken, and it probably got broken during the shipment, right? But there was a rule that you're not allowed to keep anything broken, which makes sense because they're afraid that you could break something and say, oh, well, I'll just keep this. But they didn't want to sell it either. So we kept a dumpster next to the boxes, and we threw away a lot of stuff that I'm sure a lot of older women
people who may not even notice was broken.
Would have liked to have had and would have said, I will take that, and we threw it away, and I did feel weird about it, but that was the rule. So I guess if you went dumpster diving back there and you were into tchotchkes for, seasonal decorating.
I want to say they probably saw boxes out there or something and said, let's stop. looked at it, looked for their wife's shoe size, grabbed a couple boxes, told me about them brand new shoes. That sounds exactly like something my dad and my uncle would do.
But finding a real doll? Who throws away a life-sized real doll?
Man,
now,
you're looking for shoes, you find something to it's exciting.
Stop! Yeah, you got to be careful. Snowcone's got his headphones on. Okay, like Mother. We take pretty good care of Mother back there. But Mother's not life-size.
You're
Mother's
abusive, though. You're mean to her.
Mother is...
I heard you back there the other day, and the things you were saying are not.
But she is stored
but
properly.
you treat her with a little respect from
She
now
is stored
on.
properly in plastic
Her name's
in the original box.
Put some respect on her name.
But imagine a life-size one.
The thing you said to her.
Okay, I would never throw Mother away is what I was going to say. None of us would. None of us would.
She may feel like garbage after you talk to her like that.
Okay, but I would never physically throw her in the garbage. Who's throwing a life-size real doll in the garbage? And if it was really found behind a restaurant...
Someone who's disgusted with himself.
Exactly! And why did he have it at work? So did he say, like, you know what? I can't have this thing in my house anymore. I'm turning into Lars and the real girl.
Yeah.
I'm dressing it up. I'm buying it clothes. I got to get this thing out of here.
Destroying my marriage.
But if I throw it on the street for heavy trash pickup, my neighbors are all going to know I have it. Here's what I'll do. I'll take it to work where I'm a server, a cook, or whatever, and I'll hide it in the dumpster back there and no one will ever see it. Lo and behold, Savior, homeless dude here, he finds it and starts dragging her around Kansas City, caught on tape, and everyone sees him dragging this thing around. And the cops, by the way, I like that they just said, hey, don't drag her around in public because we're going to keep getting calls. So I imagine that means this guy still has his doll somewhere. He was just told by the cops. Maybe he's pushing her around in a cart. I don't know.
Good for him.
But
He's got a
his life
companion.
has completely changed. This is... Savior, yes. What a week. What a week. Think about that. Of all the things you can find, all the stuff you can find as a homeless person, stuff that you're looking for. Obviously, food is most important.
Yeah,
but
you're looking for socks. You find something.
Right. Stop. You got to stop. But remember, the best thing you could possibly
That's a good day
find,
for anybody. If you're looking for socks and you find something to...
Yes. If I found that, if I saw an arm sticking out of a dumpster, and I was like, whoa, is that a body? What's going on? I went over and found out that it was a real doll. I'm taking it home.
Yeah, of course.
And I might have
How
to
do you
take
clean it.
Well, I think I might have to bring it here to work where we have that big dishwasher that I could actually fit it in. But you got to run it in the heavy pot and pan cycle in the dishwasher.
Sanitize.
Yes, on like 3 cycles. And then I think it's ready. And I will buy
I was going to say I'd take it here and use the fire hose.
Yeah, that's a good way to start, yeah. I still want heat, though. Lots of heat from that dishwasher over there.
I think if you blew the fire hose up the orifices...
But, man, and I know that dishwasher takes a couple hours, but while that dishwasher's running, I'm on Amazon looking at clothes for her. I'm buying her. I'm making a wish list for her.
What's her name going to be?
I don't know yet, but I'm making a wish list for her, and I'm going to make that wish list public. Hey, look, what was that Instagram influencer's name? Tiffany.
I do want to talk to you about...
I want to name her Tiffany.
I do want you to be a little bit nicer to Mother.
Okay. You guys are making this stuff up about Mother. I'm the only one who ever visits her.
It's not that...
You guys never even visit her.
It's not about visiting her. It's about what you say to her.
All right, let's move on. What the hell were we just talking about? The guy with the real doll? So what's next here? This time capsule thing. Snowcone, did you see the time capsule thing?
No.
These people, they've got a time capsule, and I guess they're real excited to open it up. It's time to open it up. And when they go to open it up, there is nothing in the time capsule. So they don't know if someone stole from the time capsule. They don't know if maybe when they put the time capsule in there, they forgot to ever put it in. I mean, look, it's a nice, safe, it's a nice looking capsule, time capsule. And they were very excited to open it up, but then they had one of those Geraldo moments where there's nothing in it.
It took us several tries to get it open because we had the combination and it's an older safe. So by the time we actually got it open, there were a number of staff people standing around watching. We were a little horrified to find that there was nothing in it. It could have happened at any point in there. We've even speculated that nothing actually got it put in there in the first place. We just don't know.
Yeah, okay, well... Who cares? I don't understand why this is such a big...
Why? There's nothing in it. You found something with nothing in it?
Why do people like it?
I'm more interested in the guy finding a real doll. If you're
me
looking
too.
for something, you find something.
That should be a bigger story. Why is CNN putting this on the front page? I think the guy dragging the real doll around, that's like they do the lottery stories all the time. Man wins lottery using what... He never played the lottery before.
And it was
Wins
an
the first
actual
time.
real doll.
And it was a life-size doll, and it looked like it was flexible, so it didn't look like a department store mannequin. I think he found someone's real doll. And the person who threw it away probably saw this story on the news and is like, oh, no. Oh, no, he's not
My
taking
DNA's
care of her.
all over that.
Right, and baby wants it back. Because, it's like when you delete your porn back in the 90s or whatever, and you're like,
he's feeling bad
I shouldn't
for
have
her?
deleted that porn.
He's
Right.
like, oh, no, she found another man. Is he jealous?
Well, maybe, or maybe just like, I wish I had her now. You know what? That was a bad idea.
That's how you get whenever I do stop by, Mother.
I should have kept her around, and
You always get
didn't.
all weird and upset and won't look me in the eye. That's why I don't visit Mother as much as I should. Because you're very possessive of Mother.
Let's get through this. Florida man news. I didn't know this was a thing. We've talked about fetishes yesterday and today because I discovered one over the weekend. But this is a dark web fetish, I guess. It's a castration fetish. Snowcone, you aware of this?
No.
You're a young man. Ever heard of castration fetish? No. Well, here you go. Here's the story. Highlands County, Florida.
I'm into it.
Huh?
I'm into it.
You're into castration fetish?
I'm into hearing how this goes.
All right, here you go. Well, deputies in Highlands...
How about this? I'm intrigued.
Well, it's an intriguing story. I read it twice. It was so nice. So, Florida deputies in Highlands County have arrested a man who attempted to perform castration inside his home. Deputies were called to the 74-year-old Gary Van Ricewick's home located on Orday Road on Sunday.
Orday Road?
Orday Road.
How do you spell it?
Let me go back up here. Orday Road. Where the hell?
Okay, doesn't matter. Orday,
O-R-D-A-Y. When they arrived, Ricewick told the deputy that he had just performed a castration on a man and encountered major issues. Deputies found a victim on a bed, bleeding heavily with a towel over his groin. The victim was flown to a nearby hospital and is now said to be stable. During their investigation, deputies found 2 body parts in a pink container, presumed to have belonged to the victim. And I presume what those body parts are. I think we all can. Ricewick said...
Wait, 2 body parts?
2 body parts. So
What
I guess he finished both of them.
Testicles.
Yes, got both of them. So Ricewick had set up a room to look like a surgical center and had medical equipment and...
Well, this is a thing that they wanted to do together?
And painkillers inside, according to the release. A camera...
This is just like that TV show where they cut off each other's wieners and then ate them.
A camera was also set up to record the procedure.
You've never seen this?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What? It's a show and it's like some sort of sexual fetish. These guys meet in a room and then they cut off each other's wieners.
Yeah, I think it was on ABC. I'm surprised you missed it.
Wait, they cut off each other's wieners and they make some sort of food out of it. And the cops break in. The cops are like, and they're like, no, we want to cut off each other's wieners. The cops are like, all right.
I don't want to
Nothing
think about
we can do
that.
here.
That is too much, okay? I don't get grossed out or offended easily, but every time I think about that video, I physically feel pain and I feel sick.
That TV show?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
What was that show?
I don't remember, but it doesn't matter, and it didn't need to exist. Would you like to hear the end of this castration fetish?
It was like
story,
everything,
please?
all the different things that happen in the same hotel or something, right?
This Ricewick guy told deputies that he met the victim on the dark web on a site that is for people who have castration fetish.
Yeah.
In addition, Ricewick told deputies he had tried to perform the procedure on the victim last week, but had to delay. According to a release, Ricewick told the victim that he had experience on animals and had even removed his own testicles in 2012. A real do-it-yourself type of fella. He also said he had done similar procedures on a man in a local motel a few years ago, but that also did not end well, according to Highland County Sheriff. Well, I would like to know, if you knew that did not end well in 2012, why is he at home right now on the dark web with the camera set up, trying
There's
again?
nothing illegal about that.
Nothing illegal. You're trying to perform a medical procedure on someone. That's illegal. He was arrested.
He wanted him to do it.
He's charged with practicing medicine without a license.
Wait, the other guy wanted him to do it. He's not practicing medicine. This is a sexual fetish.
That's you're gonna.
If I say cut off my finger, it gives me a boner. You should be allowed to do that.
Well, maybe yourself, but I can't do it
should
for
be
you.
able to do it.
No. I should not be allowed to do it.
Why?
Because
we're gonna cut off
for
each
obvious
other's
reasons.
pinkies.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
I know you don't want to do it, but I'm saying it should be legal.
I'm fine with it being considered a practicing medicine without a license. Let's keep it that way. I think amputations should be kept in the medical world, and if it's a fetish for you, then you're either going to have it medically done or do it yourself. If someone else wants to do it, they're practicing medicine without a license.
Maybe the fetish is that we do it to each other.
No.
Don't kink shame.
I'm not kink shaming. You just can't do it that way. You can't perform surgery on someone. You're not a doctor. It's a second-degree felony. His bond is set at $250,000. This is what he looks like. Would you let that guy cut your balls off? You imagine walking into that guy's room? No. Jesus, and he's got a camera. That guy's on the dark web. What is going on in Florida? How did that old man get on the dark web?
Look,
I don't even know how the hell to get on the dark web.
I'm not interested in that guy cutting off my testicles. I'm just saying, if testicle removal is consensual between two people, then there's no victim.
Yeah, except this guy almost died. I feel like there was a victim in this case, but I don't know.
The guy wanted it, didn't he?
Yeah, he wanted it, but it almost killed him. So I'm fine with him being arrested. I'm glad it's a felony. I'm sorry. I'm not kink shaming. You're allowed to have that turn you on. You're not allowed to try and perform that on someone else in your hotel room or whatever. Just no.
Well, where does it end? Where does the pain and pleasure end? Are you allowed to beat me?
I don't know.
I'm asking.
I get what you're saying. There's BDSM and all that
Are
stuff.
you allowed to do that? Are you allowed to whip me? That would be assault.
I guess if I get hurt so bad,
are you allowed to pistol whip me?
I guess if I get hurt so badly that I end up needing to
are
go.
Are you allowed to kick me in the balls while I masturbate?
If I end up needing to go to the hospital, I can see them saying, "Okay, the person who did this to you, mistress, whomever, she's being charged with something, either assault."
I don't love that.
I don't know. I think there's got to be a black eye. There's got to be some sort of a line. I don't know. Well, don't tell anybody. Finally, a Catholic teacher. This is another local story that's making national news. She was a teacher at a Catholic school. She says that she was fired because she got pregnant. Okay? You're allowed to get pregnant, obviously, if you're Catholic, but you're supposed to be married. She claims that the school told her, you need to hide your pregnancy, wear some baggy clothes, that sort of stuff. And she even claims, I think, that the people told her she should get an abortion. Whoa, imagine
Catholic
that.
School, huh?
Yeah, send it back to God or something. She says in the statement. The school absolutely denies all of this, of course.
Now, in her lawsuit against the diocese, Boland says in 2015 she was instructed to hide her pregnancy with loose clothing and goes even further. Boland says a humiliating memo about her being pregnant and unmarried went out to all staff, and she claims a priest associated with the school implied she might have been able to save her job if she had aborted the pregnancy. Boland says a church official referred to the abortion with the phrase return to sender. Now, in a statement, the Archdiocese vigorously disputes all of those claims. Church leaders say Boland's contract wasn't renewed because of performance issues, not her pregnancy.
And they said that they would never encourage a woman to have an abortion in order to keep her job. They also argued that she misrepresented the extent of her tardiness, refused to sign a performance improvement plan, and was insubordinate with the school's principal. A prominent message on the homepage of the website for St. Therese reads, quote, "It is not the policy nor the practice of St. Therese Parish or school to discriminate on the basis of pregnancy. Personal matters are held as confidential." You know, when I see stories about Catholic Church, boom, here's the headline. I go, oh, God, Catholic Church, you sons of bitches. You're at it again.
Yes, right.
Now, when I see a headline that says, woman says that she was fired from a Catholic school because she got pregnant, and they told her to have an abortion, and they told her to hide it, and they said they shamed her and all of this. My reaction is, of course they did, right? Of course. And then they say that there's no reason. Then I read their response, okay? And I'm just saying, what if she was tardy to work all the time? What if she was tardy? What if she wasn't performing well at work, right? What if, I take it this far, just imagine that the school says, the diocese says, man, we need to fire her. She doesn't show up on time. She's not a good employee, but we can't fire her while she's pregnant. That'll look terrible. What if that was the case? You know, what if that happened? I've got to imagine that happens somewhere, someplace, that they say that's a bad look. We can't do that.
Yeah.
So then she ultimately does get fired. And then she says, oh, it was because I was pregnant. And they say, it was not because you were pregnant. It's because you were tardy and you don't explain the fact that you were a bad employee or whatever.
Right.
So I don't know. Should we, just because of their history, automatically believe her? Or I read their statement. I was like, oh, what if? What if she didn't show up on time and stuff? And what if they really are like, we would never encourage someone to get an abortion. Of course we wouldn't say that. No one here would say return to sender. It's a Catholic organization.
No, I get
I don't
you. I feel
know.
you.
I don't know.
Do they have proof that she was late? And I'd like to see all that.
Well, she's filed this lawsuit against the
So it'll come
Archdiocese
out
of Kansas
then.
City. So I feel in St. Joseph. So I feel like we'll see what they've got. But I don't know.
We'll never follow up on it.
Well, I follow up, man. I've been following
You'll never
up.
follow up
Dude,
on that.
I just followed up on that guy who killed his fiance last fall or whatever the hell it was.
You're never going to follow that up.
I will follow up,
All
man.
right, fine.
I followed up on the Wisconsin farmers. I followed up on that. I still give shout-outs to baby Lisa. I feel like at least once a month, right?
I don't know if you should say that.
What?
I don't know if I give shout-outs to baby Lisa.
Well, I don't want to forget. I'm mad that we forgot about it.
I know, but still the way you phrase that.
Okay, well then here's a phrase. Let's not forget baby Lisa.
There you go.
How's that?
Yeah, maybe not. Hey, shout out baby Lisa.
Okay, well remember.
That seems...
remember. Don't forget.
Yeah.
How about where's baby Lisa?
That's good. I'm
good.
just saying the phraseology of, quick shout out to baby Lisa. That seems like.
I understand. I was upset.
Seems like maybe you could rephrase that.
I was in defensive mode because the way that I was dealing with you. Where's Baby Lisa?
Yeah, see? I'd like to know where Baby Lisa is.
I would
I
like
hope
to know
people
where
are
she
keeping
is.
that top of mind.
Please, let's not.
Because Baby Lisa
let's
hasn't
not
been
forget
found.
that.
That's interesting. Instead of, shout out Baby Lisa, what up?
Okay. You're right. I don't need to be reminded. It doesn't need to be repeated.
The Church of Lazlo. 96.5 The Buzz.
All right, my man Nick Wright, all the way from Barcelona?
Live from Barcelona.
Unbelievable. What are you covering the Olympics?
I don't think we have been to the Olympic Stadium, but I don't think the Olympics are going on here anytime soon. But I wanted to call you guys. I wanted to thank Snowcone for posting the podcast because it gives me a connection to Kansas City while I'm gone. I actually was streaming the show live a little bit earlier because I was on a bit of a drive, and I heard you guys talking about Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Is that the guy that talks to people on the street?
No, she is a girl who makes
Billie on the
very
Street?
popular songs. Nope.
Oh, damn. So
Yeah.
who am I thinking of? Somebody help me.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The guy that just
something.
talks to people on the streets. What is that guy's name,
The
Snowcone?
guy who runs through the streets and yells
Billy
at people?
Joel?
Yeah, I think it's Billie Eilish.
No,
Fact
it's
check
not. Street
Billy
guy.
Idol.
Billy
No, I'm
Eichner.
telling you,
Billy Eichner.
Okay, so
Billy
I was
on the
right.
street.
Yeah, exactly. So I was right. You guys were wrong. So
Do you enjoy that Billy Eichner stuff? I never. That's.
Have you been drinking?
Good for him, but.
Yeah, I have actually quite a bit. I'm in Barcelona. It's me, Danielle.
What is it like 11 o'clock there or something?
Yeah, it's 7 hours later than
Yeah.
it is in Kansas City, and you can't ask me to do math right now.
What's the drink of choice in Barcelona?
I was just asking him to look at the clock.
They asked me to look at the clock. There's no clocks around.
No, okay.
In Canada. A lot of sangria, but we just came from the casino. I know that'll shock you guys. I found a casino on a trip, and so it was a lot of vodka. And Danielle's grandmother, her 87 and 90-year-old grandparents are with us on this trip, and we just came from the casino where her grandmother won 1,900 euros playing slots. Just an aggressive slot player. I've never seen something like it. It was really a sight to behold. Double max bet, everything, just all the lines. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and she crushed it. Danielle crushed it in blackjack. I, of course, lost in poker, but such is my lot in life. Lazlo saw me play poker once, swears to the world I'm terrible. I pulled the move I pulled. Do you
I
remember
watched
that,
you play
Lazlo, where I
poker once. You drove me to the casino in the middle of the night, and you went into the poker room, and then you came out, and I was at a slot machine. You said, "We got to go." And we got in the car, and you said, "Man, I'm living on the margins some fast. I'm living on the margins." And you seemed upset. I felt like you hadn't won that night.
That story.
Well, it was pretty funny.
That story. That was, though, the truth, man. I lived a large portion of my life just with an intense faith that one day I would make enough money to pay off my gambling debts.
Well, you did
I
it,
had
right?
So many of them. I did it. Absolutely.
See,
No
chase your
doubt.
goals,
That was
kids.
the only-
Because I would have never thought when I sat down at a table and you were there and we ended up playing poker together, the way you busted out, I'd have never thought you'd be able to pay off those gambling debts.
No, and me neither, man. That's why I have a very, very
I mean, he's pushing all in, making us think he's got the flush. And there ain't anybody at the table who thinks he's got the flush. There's not one person at that table who's buying any second of what Nick is selling.
I would have believed you, Nick. That's why I don't play poker, but I would have believed you.
No. I'm a terrible gambler, but I love it so much. It's just so great. But I mean, listen, I've got a, I would say, a very good television job, yet I curiously work a secondary job on the radio that we don't talk about. That's just purely, I say it's to pay for my kids' college. It's just purely to pay off gambling debts.
I heard you the
That's
other
nice.
day. I was listening on XM Radio, like Mad Dog channel or something.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know what channel I'm on the radio because it could conflict with you guys. And by the way, this is really what I called in.
No, it's fine. But I did listen to you filling in for like the. Hold on, I listened to you filling in for like the Mad Dog guy, and I thought it was good.
Yeah. Oh well, I appreciate that. Speaking of good radio shows, I was on Twitter this morning, and I don't know what day it is in America, but it was whatever morning was here. It seemed to be night there. And someone had tweeted to you guys, "Oh, you want to improve ratings? Let's not talk about Miley Cyrus's love life and the guy Slim Fast has a crush on." Can I say something to that guy real quick?
Sure.
to that specific person,
Yeah.
hey, man, you. Don't nobody care what you think. This show has been on the radio for longer than any show in America except for Kevin and Bean, Howard Stern, and Bubba the Love Sponge, maybe.
And Johnny Dare.
It works for, Johnny Dare, sure. But okay, yeah, all right. So he happens to be in the same building, which takes a little of you guys' luster away. But that's not fair. That is, this is a Magic and Kareem playing on the same team situation. It's not one guy's fault. The other guy's the third greatest player ever, the fifth greatest player ever. It just happened like that. And it's really maddening that I get these updates on my phone. I'm like, oh, the stock price did this, and these other things happened. And I worry about you guys because these idiots on Twitter are mean to you.
Well, we also get a lot of very nice DMs from nice people who say very nice things.
That's fine. You know what? But Nick, you are right. There are some things where people do this, like, and it does. You're like, well, that's interesting, and you bring up a good point that I've thought of in my head and never articulated it the way you did. But I get them every once in a while and say, "Man, you're gonna run this station into the ground," and I'm like, "Man, I've been running this station for 20 years. Like, eventually they're going to fire me, and you'll be right."
Yes.
It's really the Tom Brady thing. Eventually, Tom Brady will be an old, bad quarterback.
Right.
Eventually, I will run this thing into the ground. But you only get to say that after, like, the first 9 months of me being here.
Yes.
Not 20 years later.
It's not a hot take anymore.
Right. The people talking trash to you are making the calculated bet that I make every football season, and I'm about to make about 2 weeks from now that this is the year Tom Brady's finished.
I know, it's me and Tom Brady.
The only way I'm not right is if somehow I die before he retires. Like, I will get to be right on that no matter what. And so the people who are like, I rue the day. Well, yes, unless somehow Lazlo and Slimfast end up buying the radio station, they will, of course, eventually be right.
Yes.
And guess what? They will get for being correct. Unlike me, when I get to be right about Tom Brady, that I get to then falsely claim I was the first person on that corner and I get to reap riches from it, those people just get a slightly worse drive home because you guys are gone. And instead they have to listen to some BS Imagine Dragons something or other that guy was complaining about. Hey, guess what, pal? I like the song about the kids running. What am I thinking of? I can't think of the song. Damn it, take that.
Foster the People.
Foster the People?
Oh, yeah.
Foster the People. Bam. You knew it. Slimfast. You know why?
That was Snow Cone. Snow Cone had that one.
Snow Cone knew it?
Yeah, he knew.
Osmosis from being around these radio geniuses. One day Snow Cone will be a radio genius. But do people not realize that if you guys get fired, it's not like there will be some nationwide search. Instead, it'll be Snow Cone and Bomb Pop in the afternoon, and it will not be great. Hey,
no, he makes a good point.
It won't, though. Everyone will be gone.
They'll just start playing Matchbox 20 records.
That's all they'll do.
Okay, you say everyone will be okay, maybe, but and by the way, listen, I love that entire building. I know there are some people in the building don't love me, but I would love to. And one day those people will learn that for the last 8 years, even though I've been banned from the sports station, I've come on this show every day. One day they'll figure
That's really, though, a testament to this show's lack of success that we have been able to do this for 8 years.
There
no
will
one's
be
noticed.
no Nick Wright on any shows, and we're like, just call him, man. Ain't nobody paying attention.
And they said, if we hear Nick Wright, you are in big trouble. They still have not heard you, Nick, which means no one is paying any attention to what we're doing here at all. It's amazing.
And thank God, really.
Thank God. Thank God.
It's really a remarkable thing. Danny Parkins worked for me, worked for me technically in college, and then came to 610, and when I left, took the show, and they would not let me come on. Carrington Harrison was my intern, and now once Danny left, he hosts that show. I have never guested on either of those shows. The day before Danny left, I called in a disguised voice through the regular caller line to try to wish him farewell and good luck. I call you guys every day, and no one has ever said anything. It's a really unbelievable.
You know what? I was talking to Danny Parkins this morning. We were talking about you this morning.
And we have sports guys here, and they're like, hey, you should do sports with somebody from the... I'm like, nah, we don't do sports.
Right. No, thanks.
Put somebody from one of our stations on. I'm like, nah, we don't do that.
Yeah, sports is not really our thing. Doesn't fit the brand.
Right, it doesn't fit the brand. And let me tell you another thing. Guess what? This is a true story. The other day, I was in a meeting, and someone talked about something that I won't name. One of the companies I work for was going to do, and they were debating whether to do it or not, whether it was a promotion. And you know what I said? I said, listen, I don't know much about business, but I know this. The smartest radio guy I ever met once upon a time, his radio station was, they said, hey, we're going to give away a washer and dryer. And he said, no, we are not. And they said, yes, we are. It's a $4,000 prize. People will like it. And he said, what about our brand screams washer and dryer? We're not the washer and dryer radio station. And so we will take your free washer and dryer and put it on the curb. We don't want it. And 17 years later, that is the 17th best radio station in the 36th biggest market. And he is
Hold on a second. We had a washer and dryer to give away, and you said no?
Yeah.
Why would you give it to me? Jesus, just pretend that you're giving it away. You took that washer and dryer, didn't you? That absolutely.
I lost it in a divorce anyway, so up your ass.
That's why last one such a nice washer and dryer. It's all coming together. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And so now on August, whatever day it is in America, I'm not certain, 2019, you have, I would argue, America's preeminent sports personality, Half Cox, calling you to give no sports takes just because he misses you and loves you so much. So, to that one jackass on Twitter, bleep you, sir, and I blocked you even though you don't follow me. One day you want to follow me, you're going to find out you can't. And it was because you were mean to my friends. And that's really the only reason I called.
I love you, Nick. Hey, say hello to your wonderful wife and her parents.
Oh, I will. Her grandparents. My wonderful wife has been standing in this ice cream line for quite some time, but she doesn't speak Spanish, and so she has been SOL. So I got to go help her. I will talk to you guys.
Sure, it'll be a lot of help.
See you, man.
See you, Nick.
Bye.
The Church of Lazlo on 96.5 The Buzz.
Good job, man.
Good
I hope
job.
if anything happens to you tonight, I hope it's as good and as wonderful as finding a real doll in a dumpster.
Well, no, that's
I hope
not
something that magical happens to you.
That's not going to happen.
But
you know that.
something as magical.
That's not going to happen.
Something as great.
Maybe a fraction of something would be nice, but it's something that great. That's once in a lifetime. We know. That's once in a lifetime.
I had my moment today.
What?
A wonderful lady, male, I don't know who it was, man, woman,
person,
dropped off 2 bottles of liquor.
It's very nice.
Good liquor.
It's very nice.
Don't you take that home.
That's good stuff, man.
Don't you take that.
That Makers and Knob
I
Creek.
thought you're a rum guy anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
I like Captain, yeah.
He's a rum guy.
I like bourbon, too, quite a bit.
Put that underneath the counter for me. Whatever's left here.
I won't take it.
I'll hide it. He's not going to take it. He knows better.
Somebody will take it.
It's forbidden.
No.
Oddly enough, a lot of
town,
people don't drink hard liquor at work.
What?
Anymore. Yeah. Like when they're on the air and stuff. So I think it might be okay in here. I've seen a lot of bottles.
People don't just pour themselves a
No, usually
Maker's Mark neat at work.
I've seen bottles sitting here unopened until you open them, and they stay.
That's not a thing where you just drink whiskey on the rocks at work. I thought that was always a thing. It's been a thing since Mad Men days.
I've seen it in Mad Men, a television show. In life, I've only seen it when I'm around you. So I think it'll be okay.
Is that true?
Here. Yeah.
I had no. Should I change?
No, don't change.
I thought everybody.
Don't
I
change.
see
We've
it.
all got our
on
thing.
that TV show Billions. They're always pouring whiskey into a glass, making a drink.
Sure. Glamorous. We all need a rescuer, you know? So Snow Cone likes
But I mean, in Billions they do it. They always have a bottle.
Yeah, it's very classy. It looks great.
No, sometimes they're stressed or, they're upset or they got a scheme and they just pour themselves a whiskey neat.
High finance. A lot on the table.
Well, let me pour one right now.
So that's their thing. I think that's fine. Everyone's got a thing. You've got your 2 fingers of whiskey. Snow Cone's got his Captain and Coke.
You got your ass wipe.
And what?
You've got your.
What is that?
It just sounded like you were going to break into a song.
I got you. Sorry, I was late to the reference. I got you. I don't know what I do know what my rescuer is, but I don't want to talk about it on the air. I don't think it's funny. But everyone has a rescue. What?
Your opiate addiction?
I don't think we should talk about.
What's your rescue?
We all have one, is what I'm saying, and I'm just saying.
The smashing or dancing, that's probably yours.
Well, that's not a rescuer, but I'm just saying it's okay to have one, and I'm not judging you, and that's great.
Pantyhose porn for you.
It's his
That's
crippling
porn.
opiate
That's
addiction.
different, huh?
Crippling opiate addiction.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying everyone has something, and
well, I hope whatever it is.
I don't judge anyone for their thing. We all want to feel better, right?
Shut up and quit spewing off what your therapist told you.
You think I talked to a therapist?
Yes, I do.
No, I cried.
When you start using words like rescuer, you've joined some sort of group or chat. You've gone somewhere, and you've used it, and now you're just going to overuse it until it's done.
Well,
and you won't go back, and then you'll never mention it again.
Okay,
for the
that
last
part's
2
true.
weeks, I've heard rescuer like 3 times on your mouth.
That's true.
Now, do you want some of the Jim Beam or not?
She told me that like 5 years ago, and that's the only time. And I wasn't really. I was more listening, and I haven't really done real therapy, is what I'm getting at. But I've heard the terms, and I've been to some groups where people open up about their struggles, and there's some terms thrown around in there too. So anyway,
like rescuer,
and addiction.
Using it.
Oh yeah, well, I think it's great. It's true, right? I can't wait. As a matter of fact, I'm looking forward to
I hope
mine.
tonight you find your rescuer.
Oh, I know exactly where it is, my friend, and I'm looking forward to it. See you guys.
The Church of Lazlo on 96.5 The Buzz.